I was thinking, and I know that I said our communication is top tier, and I know a lot of people think their communication is top tier, but I started to think for us to have like things still deep within that we don't discuss, there are always things that couples don't discuss. So I wanted to bring out some of those things that we may not discuss. And we'll try to do it in categories.
Okay.
And so Terry will go first. And when I say categories, they'll be like, maybe we'll talk about thoughts that we have when it comes to sex, thoughts that we have when we're angry, random thoughts that we may have, just kind of different categories. It'll be fun, it'll be deep. I'll just dig into the brain.
Cool, so what category you want to start off with?
Let's start off with random thoughts.
Random thoughts, cool, okay. So, a random thought that I have is, sometimes is, am I good enough? Right?
Deep random thought.
I think that in some conversations, some dialogue, some scenarios, I think that you maybe think like, man, if I was with somebody else, my life would be this way, or if I was with, or maybe because social media is a big thing and we see what our exes is doing and things like that. So maybe you see ex, his lifestyle maybe be a certain type of way, and you kind of put yourself in it like, dang, if I would have stayed with him, I wouldn't have to do X, Y, or Z, or this would be, my life would be this way or that way. So I think those thoughts sometimes.
Good deep thought. But I don't think women are really physical like that. Like, I don't scroll down my timeline and see my ex and be like, dang, if I would have stayed with my ex or whatever. I'm real happy with who I'm with. I'm just hit. I love being with you. But I love that you brought that up, because that would be one of my random thoughts, that like when you scroll down your Instagram, you be having all them big booty cheeks all on your Instagram and all.
I like this, but that's just the way of the world though. I delete or remove or whatever, and they still just there. And even if you go down like stories or whatever it is, reels or whatever you call them. What?
You friend all people?
Some of them. No. I mean, look on my actual friend list, it's not live, but I do look through the reels and stuff, and they just be up in that joke.
But it's interesting though. So do you have that thought because you have that thought and you're going to?
Absolutely. Not timeline based, but more so just as different scenarios or situations where I might just be like, man, like,
So you're like, if I would have stayed with her.
Not necessarily even stay with somebody.
No, absolutely. Okay, that'd be very cool.
Not
break this down.
Staying, it's not even an individual thing. It's more so like you will see on TV or even on social media, like when you see the couples, like they both are making power moves, and you can see like, well, this is how she motivates him or push him to do this or that and the third, or you just kind of see different things, and it'd be like, dang, like if my wife pushed me in this direction, she pushed me like this or like that.
Pause. Bring it back. Do y'all see the talking in the circle around the bush? Because I see it. The bush is big as hell and you going around it.
What you mean?
You said that your question was, or your thought was, you wonder if sometimes I scroll down my timeline and I see some of my exes, and I think...
That was an example, yeah.
Right, and I think, wow, I should have stayed with him, or if I were with him, my life would be like this. And then I said, no, I seriously don't. I'm content. Probably a little conceited, so I probably feel like, if anything, my ex is looking at me like, dang, if I would have. But then I asked you if you do it, and you said, absolutely. So don't talk in the bush and go around the circle. We're talking about exes. So you go down your timeline, you see some of your exes, and you think, dang, if I would have stayed with her, my life would be like this, or I would have that. Dig into that. Don't dig into the hypothetical, what the celebrities doing.
No, that was just an example. That wasn't like the core of it, but because I don't see necessarily, none of my exes are like entrepreneurs or anything in that such.
So you're not fantasizing over your exes or thinking like, what in my life? So make it clear for them cameras. Look in that camera.
I think
look at that camera and make it clear.
About an ex thing. It's just about an overall thing. The ex thing was just simply an example of how you can think and how the mind maybe operates. Social media can open those doors up for you to see people doing things, and you see relationships. They don't have to be celebrity relationships. They could be people that you know, but not necessarily your ex. I don't think any of my exes are.
I ride with you now. So you said even celebrities, even some things you look at.
Or I could think of how the behavior of my exes used to be, in the sense of pushing or pulling or making better, making me better, maybe making me think that I am exactly who I think I am and even more. I can go to that, but I don't see it on social media. That's just kind of like old, like memories of, in a sense, to whereas, yeah, sometimes I do be like, damn, man, she used to do this or do that, and like, I know maybe if I was with her, that in this particular situation, she will react this way to make me feel like this or make me feel like that. So I do think that it's more so maybe a projection of how my mind think to put it off on you.
To put it off on you.
Yeah. So, and I
think that's why they be thinking that spouses cheating and stuff too. When they be cheating and doing all that stuff that they be doing, then they try to put it off on.
Oh, no. I'm not going to say that either. But yes, that's possible.
I think
that's possible. No.
That's why you worried about him. I'm worried about my exes because he on there, he's scrolling and doing whatever he doing, but.
I never, like, no. I'm just saying, you may think that it could be a coworker, it could be anybody that you just feel like, damn, like, man, my husband don't do this, or my husband don't do that, or like, people find the negative in people, and then they automatically see the positive in people where they don't have. So that's kind of how I think, like, because sometimes that's how you make me feel, like, where it's like, damn, like, I can't be enough, or it just feels like.
I mean, I think you could do more. I mean, everybody has their thoughts. No one's perfect where they think a person can do more, give more, be more.
Right.
But I'm just saying it as far as your thought and your comparing. You said X.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe if you would have said like, do you ever see someone, whether it's at work or whether it's down your timeline or whatever it may be, that you have your thoughts and you're like, man, if I wasn't with my husband, I wouldn't be here. If I was with him, or I had this type of man, this is where I would be. Because I definitely will sometimes be like, nah, if I had this type of man.
Yeah.
But I think I'm at a point where life is life, and I don't have to be with you. And since I'm choosing to be with you, then I should be happy to. I thought it was nice. So then I should be happy with.
Nice to me.
Like, don't choose to be. You choose your path, right? You make your bed. So don't sit in that bed and then be unhappy about it.
Yeah, people do that a lot though, because because circumstances. Like sometimes you want to get up and get out, or you want to.
There's no circumstance for me that's worth being in a miserable bed.
I understand. Talk to them. So you don't think about it.
I don't think about it.
You don't compare me to others. You don't feel like.
No. If anything, like if I'm going through anything in my head, it'll be like, why don't you just get shit together, or like more.
Girl.
But it's not like, because if he was like Michael, not like that.
Gotcha.
Because I think everyone had issues.